Why this hatred for George Bush?
Well, I just hate what's happened to this country. We've gone to a country that's no longer respected. We're in a war that we should have never... And by the way, I'm worse than any hawk there is in terms of military and in terms of defending ourselves. But Saddam Hussein didn't knock down the World Trade Center. He had nothing to do with it. And there were no weapons of mass destruction. There was nothing.
The Vice President, Dick Cheney.
Well, he's obviously a very hawkish guy on the war. He said the war was going fantastically just a few months ago. And, you know, it's just very sad. I don't know if they're bad people. I don't know what's going on. I just know that they got us into a mess, the likes of which this country has probably never seen. It's one of the great catastrophes of all time. And perhaps even worse, the rest of the world hates us. Rumsfeld was a disaster, and other people that are giving him advice have been a disaster. And Condoleezza Rice, who's a lovely woman, but she never makes a deal. She doesn't make deals. She waves. She gets off the plane. She waves. She sits down with some dictator, 45-degree angle. They do the camera shot. She waves again. She gets back on the plane. She waves. No deal ever happens. So, I mean, it's...
You got to close the deal at some point.
You got to make deals. The world is dying to make deals, and we don't have the right people doing it. You know, nobody talks about the soldiers that are coming back with no arms and no legs. And I saw at Mar-a-Lago on Mondays, I make Mar-a-Lago my club that you know about.
In Palm Beach.
I make that twice now. On a Monday, I let returning Iraqi injured soldiers come to the premises. The most beautiful people I've ever seen. But they're missing arms and legs. They're with their wives. Sometimes they're with their girlfriends. And the tears are coming down the faces of these people. I mean, the thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands, and the Iraqis that have been just maimed and killed. This war is a horrible thing. Now, President Bush says he's religious, and yet 400,000 people, the way I count it, have died, and probably millions have been badly maimed and injured. What's going on?
You know, you've created a buzz. Suddenly there's a buzz going in the campaign. They like the fact that you're a straight talker. But you know what? The media elites don't like you. I was listening to the radio on some channels. They didn't think it was a good idea. The Daily News today put this picture, clown runs for president. And Charles Krauthammer had this to say about you last night. I want you to hear him, and then he will hear from you.
It was great showmanship, a stream of consciousness. I think his single most important statement was, I am very rich. That's the basis for the campaign. It will damage the party because, like, say, an Al Sharpton or even a Ross Perot, having those kinds of people on the stage who aren't really serious candidates diminishes the stature of the others who are.
So, according to Charles Krauthammer and a number of media elites, you're not a serious candidate.
Well, the New York Post gave me a front page cover that I wish you held that one up instead of the failing Daily News. You know, the The Daily News is going to be out of business very soon. It's doing no business whatsoever, and they do that for circulation. As far as Charles Krauthammer, I'm not a fan of his. I think he's a highly overrated pundit. He's wrong on so many things, including the Iraq War. And I've just never been a fan, and obviously he knows that, and I guess he's not a fan of mine, and that's okay. All I do is I speak the truth. You see my polls. My polls were great before people thought they were. In New Hampshire, I was number 3 and 4, and that was before I did this. Nobody thinks I'm running, so I'm doing well. But, when I watch a George Will or a Charles Krauthammer, I watch them for years. They're losers. They're just losers. They sit there. They haven't done anything. Think about it. I built a $9 billion net worth. I've employed tens of thousands of people. I do a television show. It becomes one of the biggest shows on all of television. NBC renewed it again. They're begging for me to do it. I write a book called The Art of the Deal. It's the #1 selling business book of all time. And I got a jerk named Krauthammer or George Will
Mr. Trump, let me
saying,
jump in here
gee,
for a
he
minute.
doesn't deserve to be in
I'm
the
going to
race.
pick a
Bruce Pro career hits like a steam hammer. The eyes of the giveaway. Oh, the legs have gone.
You've also supported a host of other liberal policies. You've also donated to several Democratic candidates, Hillary Clinton included, Nancy Pelosi. You explained away those donations, saying you did that to get business-related favors. And you said recently, quote, when you give, they do whatever the hell you want them to do.
You better believe it.
So what specifically did they do?
If I ask them, if I need them, most of the people on this stage I've given to, just so you understand. A lot of money.
Not me. Not me. But you're welcome to give me a check, Donald, if you'd like.
Many of them.
Actually, to be clear,
That's
he
right.
supported
Not-
Charlie Crist.
Not Mike.
Gave Charlie
But I have...
Donald, if you end
I
your
have
campaign, I hope you will give to me.
Good.
Okay.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me, Governor. I will tell you that our system is broken. I give to many people. Before 2 months ago, I was a businessman. I give to everybody. When they call, I give. And you know what? When I need something from them 2 years later, 3 years later, I call them. They are there for me.
So what'd
and
you
that's
get?
a broken system.
So what'd you get from Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi?
Well, I'll tell you what. With Hillary Clinton, I said, be at my wedding, and she came to my wedding. You know why? She had no choice because I gave. I gave to a foundation that, frankly, that foundation is supposed to do good. I didn't know her money would be used on private jets going all over the world. It was.
I'm glad you pointed it out because down he goes, the left hook. 23-pound weight advantage, and he put it all there. The right to the head.
No, we didn't see it yet. I'm sorry, here it comes.
There's the left
There's
hook.
the hook to the body.
And he
missed the
with
right,
the right.
yeah.
It was just the left hook.
He didn't wait for an invitation. Here it comes. Whoa.
I'll tell you, Michael Jack Johnson.
What you said when you said that the people across the border are rapists and murderers.
No. We're talking about illegal immigration, and everybody understands it. And you know what? That's a typical case. Wait. That's a typical case of the press with misinterpretation. They take a half a sentence. They take a half a sentence. By the way, they take a half a sentence and they take a quarter of a sentence. They put it all together. It's a typical thing. And you're with Telemundo, and Telemundo should be ashamed. And I'll tell you something. What's really going to be fun? I'm right now suing Univision for $500 million. And I want to tell you, we're going to win a lot of money because of what they do. So I just, again, I want to thank you. No, you're finished. You've obviously been proven to me.
Coming in round one of this heavyweight fight. There it was.
Obviously, it was a mistake. So George Bush made a mistake. We can make mistakes, but that one was a beauty. We should have never been in Iraq. We have destabilized the Middle East.
But so you still think he should be impeached?
I think it's my turn, isn't it?
You do whatever you want. You call it whatever you want. I want to tell you, they lied.
Okay.
They said there were weapons of mass destruction. There were none, and they knew there were none. I want to begin by thanking the people
of South Carolina. This is a special state. Thank you.
The angle is Tyson. Use that right-footed pivot, swing around on your opponent's side, and then crack.
See, he stepped back and did it again. Stepped off and around and ripped that uppercut to where Mathis was ducking right into it.
9, 10. He didn't beat the count.
I'm proud of the campaign that we've run to unify our country and to advocate conservative solutions that would give more Americans the opportunity to rise up and reach their God-given potential. But the people of Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina have spoken, and I really respect their decision. So tonight, I am suspending my campaign. Yeah.
He should be doing a lot more movement than he is now. He's allowing Mike Tyson to trap him in the corner.
That'll be enough.
Surprise!
I mean, first of all, this guy's a choke artist, and this guy's a liar. You have a combination.
This guy always goes.
You have a combination of factors. He
This
can't
is so
do it for
typical.
the obvious reason, and he
But
can't do
here's
it
the
because
typical
he
thing he
doesn't know
does.
how to tell the truth.
Fighter cannot be saved by the bell as the big right hand lands. Tyson knows he's got him in big trouble. If he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele has moved in and has stopped the fight. It's all over.
Some in the media are starting to come around to the idea that Donald Trump is not going away anytime soon, if at all. Tonight, Fox News media analyst and host of Fox's Media Buzz, Howard Kurtz, looks at a candidate few took seriously not that long ago. Good evening, Howie.
Good evening, Chris. The media have dismissed Donald Trump for months, first as a sideshow, then as a summer fling, then as a candidate who is bound to implode. Now National Review says the establishment is thinking the unthinkable.
The Republican establishment for the first time saying off the record, this guy could win. I don't hear anybody saying he can't win the nomination anymore.
I know all of us dismissed Trump early on, all of it, the so-called experts. I am beginning to believe he could be elected president of the United States.